but isn't reckless.
Anyways, they're going to. I thought we were going to go and meet Fletch, unless Fletch is going to meet us up along the way, I guess.
Yeah, I could easily just, do some trigonometry and figure out the ideal meeting point. Yeah.
Okay, he's going to do some trigonometry, and we're going to meet at a median point along our route with him.
Okay.
And then we're going to pick him up, and then we're going to continue on foot the rest of the way. They're hopefully not being spotted by anyone on the roofs or anything. At least that's the way I'm interpreting this plan.
Okay.
As Tony drives away.
Yeah.
No, you don't understand. He said foot. That's not driving.
Oh, it's foot.
I drive on my feet.
No.
Okay. Okay.
This isn't Flintstones.
Or
no.
Is it?
I don't
Not
think.
yet. Not until that battery dies.
The group then methodically makes their way through the housing complex, heading towards the epicenter of Fort Drake. It's not too difficult to notice. The towers are, well, tall when everything else is either single-story or, in the case of some of the auxiliary buildings, 2 or 3 stories. So they're pretty easy to spot, particularly in the fact that there's very few trees or vision obstructions here in all of this acreage. The helicopter has rested rather comfortably on the helipad. The 2 soldiers whom Fletch had spotted are standing by that helicopter, looking over the base. They're talking. They're looking really at the base and more towards the southern side of it. They're not really looking at the northern approach. You don't spot anyone else. The 2 buildings themselves look like they're concrete prefab buildings as well, implanted onto the world, only in this case they're much taller than everything else. Concrete and glass. There's some parking spaces, concrete paths, little cobblestone, a tiered area in which a gentle waterfall slopes down. No, that's a lie.
Oh. Okay. So are we actually going to sneak in there and try to find out what these guys are up to? Because, I'm all for that, because that sounds awesome.
It's a plan.
Yeah, but does anyone else have a different plan? Aside from Potman, because we don't know what Potman's plan is.
Do we?
I'm going to assume your plan was to go back and hide. Hopefully they would leave and never come back.
I like that plan. Let's do it.
Now
Good idea, Tony.
now that you're agreeing with me, I really don't like that plan anymore.
He's just making a list of things that he's not going to do.
All right. So
definitely not that.
So, Kat, what do you think we should do? Silence. All right.
Okay, I was still. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we were wondering.
Oh God, nothing I said mattered, did it?
We don't know what you said, so no, it didn't matter.
As long as we're sticking close to the building, and you said they weren't watching us.
They're not directly watching you, but you're maybe, I don't know, we'll say 100 yards away, and you can just see their figures, and Fletch could confirm. There's still daylight out here. It's summertime, northern part of the United States, even if it's past 8 now, there's still daylight. There's little in the way of cover if you guys actually want to approach the building. You could slowly rotate so that basically you're approaching so that the entire building is between you and the helicopter.
Here's a question. It's going to be probably way too specific, but how bright was the moon the night before?
Roll a d4. Okay, new moon.
Right. Okay. As I now have to remember the cycles of the moon because I'm terrible.
New moon is the dark
New
moon.
is pitch black.
Perfect.
There might have even been like a full moon like 2 days ago when you guys met the vampire. Doesn't matter now. You have
Doesn't matter,
made
it's a new moon now.
It's B-movie logic. Shit changes all the time.
Other question. I know there's no real cover, but is there like any debris just hanging around that would trip people up? So if we were to move without any light,
No, there's tall grass, but there's a few trees. There's the asphalt that's pretty well paved. Even with like the 2 years of disrepair, things have been handled quite well. It hasn't seen much use. I wouldn't make you roll to traverse the countryside. You could go by the light of the stars.
yeah, I'd suggest waiting and then probably going through under cover of darkness.
But they might be
not
gone.
still be there.
We'll have to roll.
So whatever you want to do. I mean, if we're gonna go in when it's still bright, circling around probably sounds like the best idea.
Yeah, I'm fine with just, watching them from a distance for now. Hoping that they leave. Take whatever they want without taking what we want.
We don't know what they want, Potman, which is the problem.
Right, that's why.
But if we have the opportunity, getting what they have wouldn't be such a terrible thing.
Okay, I guess. If that doesn't involve getting shot.
Preferably.
Hopefully. I think if we're quiet enough, we could probably get up to the building, and then once we're inside, that's an entirely different problem. But details.
Yeah, they're kind of wearing armor, and we don't really have firepower.
Yeah. So we don't want to get spotted. Period. Correct.
Well, in general,
Yeah.
being spotted by heavily armed people is a bad idea.
Usually.
In this case, getting spotted at all probably means us dying.
Could be a good chance.
I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I'm still in a fair bit of pain.
The wound's healing up slowly, and I'm not so certain that we could stop Tony if we tried.
Yeah. This gunshot has only made me stronger.
If you say so.
You couldn't stop me if you tried.
I think now, knowing that we don't actually have much equipment to take on a fully armored soldiers, we should probably wait.
Yeah, we don't really have weapons. We
At least
barely
for
have any health.
half an hour, maybe. An hour to an hour and a half. So
Are
we
we
actually
just waiting for them to leave, or
depends. If they leave soon. Well, we can assume they already knew.
well, take cover.
Yeah.
Potman
Into the
hides.
cover.
I'm just gonna put this right now. If they leave in like the next hour, half an hour to an hour, that means whatever they were looking for, they found and they probably took. If they're here for longer, then that means they don't exactly know what they're looking for, or they're looking, God forbid, for us.
Oh, they seem to have some sort of diagram or map of what they were looking for.
Well, and it looks like they didn't find it back in the warehouses. So, what would that leave? Medical supplies.
Manifests in the administration area.
Might be trying to find out where certain things were shipped.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's all they're here for. We could probably just leave them to it.
We should still watch.
In case,
In case they try and take my hydroponic supplies.
If they want them, we can't stop them.
Shut
I think
up.
we should watch to make sure they're not doing something that might cause us to randomly explode.
Oh, you mean, okay. So, we've got to keep our heads down now until they
Sure.
swivel away. Alright.
Hey, Jordan, Aaron, when's nightfall up there in Indiana around June, July?
Fuck if I know. I live in Virginia now.
Around June, July,
June, July. It would probably be around
9 p.m.
That's
maybe
what I thought.
8:30. That's when it's pitch black, but the sun's down by 8 o'clock, 7:30, 8 o'clock.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I have not spent that many weeks up in the north.
Yes, the wonderful north.
Yes. At any rate, it ends up being another hour passes, getting to 9 p.m. Sun ends up diminishing in the sky. Night with the near new moon reigns in the land, and a building which was the two buildings, the two twin towers, which were dark, actually begin to light up with first slow pricks of light, and then the entire complex area is just flooded with massive beams of light, as if they all come to life at once, just springing up aglow.
Huh.
Including like search beams that are all around, particularly during like the around the helipad, just massive glow of light.
Maybe we should have left.
You four are outside of the ring of light. The lighting actually does not go like say down the road into like the housing complexes or anything, but it does just surround the two towers. The sky bridge that connects the two, it's so beautifully lit.
So, what do you think they're doing now that they need power on?
Could just be trying to secure their perimeter.
But there's like 6 of them.
Yeah, bright lights would really help them spot. After all, we can't approach now.
Also, help them search if they're still searching. You remember how shitty it was for us to search a building in the
Yeah,
dark.
it was awful.
But turning the light on does sort of say to everyone, "Hey, everybody! Here we
They've
are."
got machine guns.
Do you think that'll stop some people?
Most people, yeah.
What about those crazy people in that one town I forget the name of now?
They're all dead, probably.
You really
We're
want to
having-
go back to that?
I mean, it's stopping us.
Well, I guess we have to guess. I guess we're guess since we can't do anything tonight unless the power for some serendipitous reason goes out. We really can't do anything tonight. But I'm surprised those generators are working. To be honest.
Well, we don't know what's powering the place. After all, the hydroponic lab is still powered.
True. Anyways, there's not really much we're going to be able to do tonight, so let's get back to the battle wagon and back to the housing complex.
I'd
Unless...
still kind of like to keep watch.
Alright, if you want to... but tell you what, you do that and I'll go back to the housing complex.
Yeah, sure, okay.
This shit's boring, bruh.
Sure.
I mean, the only thing we're actually able to see is if they fly off or they blow up one of the buildings, and you could probably see that from anywhere else around the place.
Probably.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Glad you're agreeing with me.
Okay.
Alright. Then Trusty Tony walks off.
Okay, Trusty
Well,
Tony goes off on his own.
Well, he doesn't... I was about to say he doesn't walk off, but since he's not in the light and it's pretty much pitch black outside, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. Trusty Tony walks away.
Yeah.
And gets on his battle wagon and rides off again. To his own devices.
Battle
Just goes for
wagon.
a cruise.
This can't possibly end badly.
He separates. Well,
Yeah.
Trusty Tony goes off and does his own thing, leaving the three of you to handle the watch with the kitten. Do me.
Yeah, I'm still all for at least keeping an eye on them to make sure they don't suddenly start searching the place or something like that.
See, he may be going back, but we've got the can.
The can?
Can.
Okay.
Soup?
I have ramen noodles.
Enjoy your dry ramen.
Unless I'm mistaken, it sounds like we're just going to be setting up watch here to keep
Yeah.
an eye on whatever they're doing,
Sure.
Definitely setting up one.
and then passing the night,
Yeah.
unless something significant happens.
It's about and Trusty Tony rides off. It's another 35 minutes later. The two soldiers in the helicopter are not completely stationary. They are like taking like walks around the helicopter just to like look out at different areas, but they're still at the helicopter. Perhaps their orders are such to not leave the helicopter. The pilot perhaps is still with it. The others are out of view. It is in that 35-minute range. Then Trusty Tony has ridden off into the housing complex as he just found a house, a concrete house to snuggle up in.
Yep.
It's actually then that a crackling sound can be heard. And it's actually coming from all of the lampposts throughout the entirety of the base, which means that even Trusty Tony hears this as well.
Well, they managed to get the power on for the entire base.
And then a PA system cracks to life, and a voice emits from it and says, "Be advised, we have a mutual acquaintance you might like to discuss. Concerns your locators he put into all four of you."
Turn the battle wagon around.
You pulled it like into the house. You just like beep beep beep. You drive it out of the house.
Does it look like I give a shit at what happens to these houses? I break one, I've got another one. God damn it.
Yeah, nobody's doubting that there was some kind of operation done to us.
Degousing. Maybe the tracker they put into me was put into my stomach. That way when I got shot, oh.
The speakers crumble again. "We'll give the four of you some time to think about it." And then the system dies.
Well, what's really our choice, Eugene?
Well, they obviously can't pinpoint us exactly.
Trust Tony's gonna call you guys up on your radio. You guys hear that?
Yeah, I think everyone everywhere could hear that.
What do we do now?
I'm on
But
my way
again,
back.
They can't exactly pinpoint us, so I wonder if we could still manage to sneak up on the tower.
Sneak up on the tower.
I mean, the two options are either confrontation or run.
Well, Trusted Tony's gonna come roaring back at 5 miles an hour or whatever the maximum speed of this forklift back to you guys.
Well, running and confrontation haven't worked very well for us so far.
You have a third option?
Hate to say it, but there's always capitulation.
Beep.
I consider anything that includes surrender to be confronting them.
Like,
Basically,
I guess
we're either going to go meet them one way or another or run.
Would you rather meet them angry or less?
I think they're going to be angry no matter what. You didn't really see the side of these people that we did, apparently.
Well, you could have cooperated. That tends to make captors less.
That would have
less-
worked out so much better. Because you may have noticed you're in the same situation we are.
At the front of the front of the Twin Towers, we'll say the one on the left, the door opens, slides open electronically, and out steps the 7-foot hulking behemoth. not carrying a weapon so much as a bench, which he actually, just casually sets down on the ground, and then sits on, facing outward, the front of the building. The other gentleman, the technical badass, who's not covered in so many electronics, he actually pulls out like a little folding table, and he sets that at the ground. The hulking behemoth pulls out what appears to be, according to the binoculars, a stack of playing cards, and begins to shuffle them.
Oh no, they didn't.
Aggressive confrontation, is not exactly our forte, and I don't think it would end well given our current equipment and personnel situation. That being that most of us are half dead.
Yeah, that.
Running, they have a helicopter.
Yeah,
So I
So,
say we just walk up on them.
walk up and cooperate. This time you won't come out with as many bruises and scars.
At least walk up on them.
Do you really think you can take down that living mountain?
I'm gonna go ask them to deal me in.
Me too. I mean, we were at Atlantic City, what, a month and a half ago?
Yeah,
We shouldn't be too rusty. We shouldn't be too rusty.
I don't see much point in arguing the details of the meeting, so I'm just going to start walking.
Let's go before they get angrier.
They
Hell,
look like
that-
they've got plenty of time to kill.
The guy's like half drunk from how much I've been watching him drink.
You
so-
should hope.
Maybe he has maybe he has an iron liver.
He was drinking from the entire fucking bottle of bourbon whiskey.
Maybe he has a cyber liver.
What the fuck is a
His liver
cyber
is
liver? Are
laced
you
with
some
bullshit.
sort of like? Are you reading those novels again, Potman?
No.
Good.
All right. Upon your approach, particularly whenever you step into the massive flares of light, which are ringing the entire base, the first two people to spot you at least and actually cry out some sort of alarm, like they're doing a good job, are the two soldiers who are standing by the helipad, who call out. It just it's not even like a word so much as sounds.
Hey, Mingus and Dingus saw us.
Just keep walking.
Yeah.
Not carrying any weapon exposed. Obviously weapons are exposed, but not readied.
Right.
Yeah. 22. They're gonna totally take me down for having this thing. Though I did blow a man's side off.
You could still kill somebody with a 22.
Yeah, as
It's
I have
possible.
showcased.
Mm-hmm. The two soldiers, what if they had actually, they don't do any sort of thing in regards to you. They don't start running after you or start shooting at you, and you only end up seeing them peripherally as you draw closer to the building. As you do draw close to the building, the other three of you end up seeing the details that I had previously described. Corporal Badass, as I have him nicknamed, is pretty much, if he's not 7 feet tall, he's close to that. Then again, he is in that full armor, including the helmet, and he is sitting down, as awkward as that must fucking be, on the bench, trying to fold a stack of playing cards with his gloved hands, as it were. And he's got the bottle, it might even be a new bottle of bourbon whiskey on the table. And the M4 is not directly dangling off his body, but it's nearby, along with his other assorted weaponry, grenades stashed all over, multiple serrated knives. He is a walking arsenal. The other gentleman, in comparison, seems like a child in the fact that he does not appear to have any weapon equipped at all, and unburdened by the electronics, actually looks very thin and gaunt by comparison.
Stereotyping.
Stereotype.
But, that's probably just due to a matter of perspective. Anyone, even Cat, would look fairly small in comparison to the hulking.
That man's a nerd.
That's right.
You hear that, cat? Do you even lift?
You know, he might be a ninja trained in, the deserts of Afghanistan and has throwing knives.
A Middle Eastern ninja?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is he also a vampire?
Yes.
Oh,
well,
God.
Fletch did see him out a day. On the other hand, he is wearing a headscarf.
Mm.
Clever girl.
It's the sun's
That's
weakness.
The sun's weakness.
Headscarves.
Once it was bitten, it,
Vampire son. So, about that, Trusty is actually going to walk up to them and ask to be dealt in unless something happens along the way.
Yeah, Potman's pretty much doing the same.
We're not nice people.
Yes, nice people.
I murdered
We're
him.
also so far beyond fucked if they decide to screw us over. At this point,
It's like,
why not?
It's like,
Exactly.
like the hulking monstrosity looks towards the other guy. I didn't think that would work.
We just climbed into the bear trap. We may as well have some of the bait.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So just walk up and ask him, what do you want?
Well, first, after, dealing with the questions, being dealt in, he stops, shuffling the cards and, sets them on the table and, tries to, stretch in, his current predicament, and it just really looks awkward as you, try and, crack his back and everything, and just the armor is so encumbering, and says, like I said, to talk about a mutual acquaintance that we might have.
That's a lot of possible people.
Mm-hmm.
There's only one possible person that we both know.
Night.
Oh, I was
Could
going to
be.
guess the vampire guy.
One.
And the corporal badass says, that Nazi son of a bitch.
See,
I
it's-
figured
no.
that the drink he brought us had nanomachine trackers. No?
What are you talking about, Aaron?
What?
I now, me,
Oh,
as the zombie master, am confused.
Didn't vampire guy bring tequila to us?
He brought you tequila, yes. I
Yeah,
think that,
Potman's basically saying that he thought that there were nano trackers in there, that's what the trackers they were talking about were.
Cat's gonna kinda elbow you and say, remember how I told you we had some sort of surgery done on us in that base?
Yeah.
Yeah, because we were injured and stuff from all the torture.
Uh-huh.
I had it done to me too, and I wasn't tortured.
Oh.
That seems like an oversight on their part.
Well, that's depends on whether you count being stripped down and thrown into a cold cell with a metal bench torture or not.
Look, I didn't come out with any scars. Physical.
Okay, so
the two seem content to let you four talk through your issues.
Seriously,
So let's
stop giving them
let's-
free information.
let's be hypothetical here. That at the surgery they performed on us, they implanted some sort of tracking device. Wouldn't we have sometime, noticed this thing?
Probably really small.
Like, how small are we talking here?
We're talking like
Pretty
smaller
small.
than a dime. Like smaller than a dime.
If it's anything around the size of change, I can detect it.
It's smaller than a dime. Smaller.
Damn it.
So the Weasley guy, he didn't have a rank, did he?
Well, does not appear to have the case. He does not appear to have any insignia on him, but he does
I meant
look...
back at the bunker,
Oh, you
the snide voice guy,
snide voice man?
whatever you want to call him,
You talking about
the
Dr. Franklin Knight?
agent.
Oh,
No.
no. Oh, him.
The
him.
real one pulling the strings.
Yes, Lucius Thoran, with your photographic memory, you remember
Pretty
that.
sure he was not wearing any rank insignia.
No, he was not. He was typical, as Potman seen in the movies and TV, government agent, and his black.
Like that wasn't even his name, I'm sure. That's just what they call him. He's another Mr. Smith.
Mm-hmm. He's a Mr. Smith.
I mean, we
Hmm.
did leave a Mr. Johnson to die down there.
Several scientists died at the facility.
We saved
So
some
what-
though.
So what does the spook want now?
The encumbered hulking monstrosity says, "Oh, he, among other things, wanted the four of you back in one of his Nazi playpens, I'm sure. We decided that we didn't care about that job."
So you shot him?
He's,
No, he's still alive. Wouldn't have been able
Fuck!
Damn
to
it.
take the chopper without.
Did you
this.
break his
So-
legs?
so then what you actually want is for us to help you do something about him.
The man blinks. Actually, no. Just wanted to let you know.
Why?
Mercenary says, "Well."
Back to the question, what do you want from us?
Looks over to his left, looks over to his right. "Pretty sweet digs you got here.
We don't really have it.
But what if you could?"
It'd be pretty fucking awesome.
Are
And
you making us some kind of offer?
like the smiling face, because it has been pretty casual for him, although it does look pretty terrible. Think like Blockhead from Vampire the Masquerade.
Oh,
it like scrunches down, gets all serious, as if this were the most serious question he could possibly ask. "Any of you a farmer?"
Yeah.
So I was right.
Well, a grower.
You have left the military and you're looking to, let's say, partner up.
The man says, "We have many skills, but there's only so much food that can be taken. Kind of hard to live for years, however long this is going to take to blow over. The military has failed on several occasions to stop." And he like twirls a mechanically gloved hand, "Whatever this is. And so myself and," he looks over to the man on his right, "Riggs and the others decided that we should start playing for ourselves instead of for the failed government."
That seems reasonable.
Cool. So are you making us some kind of offer?
I actually want to discern lies on that.
Most certainly, you can attempt to do such a thing.
Whether these guys are BSing us or not. Any modifiers?
Let me take a look to make sure I understand the discern lies rules. That is for questioning. That's under the questioning section, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'll handle any modifiers in my head.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
The corporal badass does seem somewhat genuine in the statement, but it's possible that he's told, and Fletch gets the impression that he's an easy liar, that it's more like a convenience thing, especially if he's taken this new mantle in his life, and so it might just be ingrained into the possibility that there's something that is not being told, or something. Like, it's not so much like a direct lie as let's just admit that.
Yeah, I have some ideas about what that, the information left out may include.
Hmm.
So what's your plan?
The man looks over to Riggs, and then back to the four of you and says, "Well, there's gonna be an event at this base. The military, as far as I'm aware, still thinks this operational. We're gonna make it seem, at least in a report, to be non-operational. Create concentric rings around a smaller locale, such as the one of the warehouse blocks, perhaps the one in the northeast. And from there, base up in those warehouses with regular patrols, perhaps operating further on into the ground levels as well, to ensure the protection of the farms, as well as a pointed look at Potman, the farmer.
So what were you checking in there?
Man sighs and says, "Oh, Dr. Knight said there were some other things of interest for his. We weren't just sent here to pick up the four of you, but they're not here."
I'm guessing you have some way of knowing what's supposed to be here then. Kind of gives him a knowing smile.
He gives a knowing smile
He
in
gives him a
return.
creepy wink.
Seduction roll. So you're bringing, let's just group it up into military expertise, and you want what from us? Street smarts? Farming, obviously.
Farming, bodies, eyes, look for as capable as myself might be. He says that even though it's a wrong statement. The problem is, I can't be everywhere, and I can't be awake all the time. Survival can't be engineered by just a handful of gentlemen. You're gonna need someone to be able to grow food. Like I said, can't raid everything forever. What am I gonna do, eat the Zeds?
Have you tried? Because I haven't been willing to try.
The man
And-
gives a withering glower at Potman.
Don't
So
mind him.
that's okay.
He's special.
He's good at what he does.
So long as he's good at what he does.
Pretty good at what he does.
Potman gets a good feeling that this gentleman has taken Potman's statement that he's a farmer at face value.
Yeah.
Well, if you're
Too
not, it's just going to
stupid
end with
looking
a bullet, so...
Yeah, so
No.
Oh,
So don't roll low!
To be fair, Potman rolling low is probably going to lead to starvation, bullet or not.
What do you guys think?
seems like right to me.
Doesn't sound like we've really got a choice.
I mean,
so